Many people will never understand clearly who General Idi Amin was and how he led his people. He was a man of controversy who ruled Uganda with an iron fist. Here is the story of this man, mostly hated for his brutal regime, but also ironically loved by many.
The OAU had a committee called the Liberation Committee. So one of its meetings was held in Kampala, in Uganda, at the time that Idi Amin was there as head of state. So we attended the meeting, and Idi Amin kept interrupting the ministerial meeting, and then he would come and they adjourn because His Excellency wants to address them. And he would, one message: we must intensify the struggle first in Angola, and after we finish there, we must go to Mozambique. After we finish in Mozambique, we go to Zimbabwe. Of course, we're very fed up with this Amin story. He's postponing the struggle in South Africa until whenever. Unfortunately, he says, Idi Amin, that all of the liberation movement delegations should not leave Kampala without meeting him. Fine. So indeed we meet him. So OR must now present our case. Your Excellency, you can't say that. These things you've been saying. Why are you postponing our struggle? Say, my brother, let me explain. You see, this is called misinformation. The reason I was doing it all the time, because I want them, those other people, to listen. They will think our strategy is to go to Angola, and then Mozambique, and then Zimbabwe. What they don't know, our target is Cape Town. So that's an important lesson from Idi Amin. And of course, many years later, South Africa is free.
General Idi Amin Dada, a figure notorious for his brutal dictatorship, rose to power in Uganda after a military coup in 1971 that overthrew President Milton Obote, characterized by a reign of terror and gross human rights abuses. Amin's rule was marked by widespread repression, extrajudicial killings, and ethnic persecution of people living in Uganda.
Who tried to assassinate me? Let me tell you, I have got them, but we will be debating this particular point, and they told me the whole Western press know exactly what was going to happen on me. But they said that their team was well planned, they were responsible. I want just to tell you, because I'm sorry the president and the leader of Benin is not here. They told me officially their plan, their mission was to kill the president of Benin, move to Congo Brazzaville, move to Angola, to kill the president of Angola, move to Uganda, and then go to Guinea, Sekoture. This is a point which I wanted to bring to your attention. And therefore, with this particular, there is the movement. Therefore, they make news in their news media. Before you can be assassinated, they can focus from the world opinion that you are murderer, you are this, you are this, you are this. But they wanted to draw the attention of the world that you are very bad, while they have already planned everything. But God is there with us. We got them, and we are not afraid. And I am very happy. I don't want to say a lot of things, because most of the things, it is already in the agenda where we will be discussing. With this, my few words, I am sure we shall be very frank, we shall be very friendly, whether we quarrel, but by the time we leave here, we shall shake our hands and solve our problem in the name of God and our country. Thank you very much.
General Idi Amin declared himself as conqueror of the British Empire in July 1978.
I have only come here for 5 minutes. I have come as a President of the Republic of Uganda, and also I am speaking as a great man who is the conqueror of the British Empire. I wanted to confirm to you, I have liberated my country economically, and I am economically strong, and that is why I said I uprooted the British imperialism from Uganda, and Uganda is now free Africa. We, Africa, we have been weak because we allow ourselves, our brothers, to go and invite some country. But if the whole country in the continent of Africa can show an excellent example, like our beloved leader, His Majesty the King Hassan of Morocco, assisting President Mobutu when he's invaded. This is some point which Africa can prevent to bring in the other troops from outside. But some other country have been forced to get European forces into Africa because they tried to ask some African country they don't want. Some African country were the one who are confusing ourselves because we train guerrillas against our country. We force government to be in that. We wanted that particular liberation leader to be the president of that particular country, and that have complicated everything in Africa.
His erratic behaviour, such as declaring himself the last king of Scotland, and his idiosyncratic decrees, including the expulsion of the entire Asian community in 1972, contributed to an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty.
Are you not afraid of interviewing the conqueror of British Empire as you are British? You are not afraid of... I am very tough, yes. And I will never give up. If I wanted to do something, I will never change my mind. Toughness is good because the people respect you, and tough man is a quality which you can find for the high command, because when he gives order, they know that that order is given by the strong man and must be obeyed.
Amin's 8-year rule came to an end in 1979, when Tanzanian forces and Ugandan fighters residing in exile ousted him out of power. The Tanzanian President Mwalimu Julius Nyerere ordered his troops to invade Uganda. Tanzanian army and rebel forces successfully captured Kampala in 1979 and ousted General Idi Amin from power. Idi Amin subsequently fled into exile in Saudi Arabia, where he lived until his death in 2003.
I changed from Israeli alliance because Israeli are criminals and they are not trusted people. They don't tell the world the truth. They were taken to Palestine as refugees, and then they changed Palestine to become a state of Israel by force of arms given to them by Americans and the British. Why do you ask me about Hitler? The Hitler's problem is now past tense. Now we are looking forward for the future generations and the future plan. We are no longer going back to Hitler's. You see, the war of Hitler, it was a different war than the war today.
You are sure that in 1967 they captured the whole Sinai. They captured part of the Jordan. They captured most of the part of the Golan Heights. The resolution was passed here that peacefully Israel must obey that order to withdraw from all Arab territory. And this was passed by the the whole United Nations member states. They refused. What can the Arab do now? On top of this, there has been bombing every day. We don't want war, we don't want destruction of Israel, but we want peace in the Middle East. But if they don't want peace, what can we do? You do. If at all I wanted to beat you with the stick, your duty is to defend yourself. Therefore, the Arab are to defend, and also they are to gain their territory by all means, peaceful means or by fighting, because the territory was taken from them by the force of arms.
Amin's fascination with Scotland led him to declare himself the uncrowned King of Scotland. This unusual title added to his eccentric persona. He was known for his lavish lifestyle, owning multiple palaces and luxury cars, indulging in extravagant expenses, while the majority of Ugandans struggled to make ends meet. Amin often boasted about his prowess as a professional boxer, claiming to have been a heavyweight champion and even participating in Olympic boxing. However, there is little evidence to support these claims, and they are widely regarded as exaggerated or fabricated throughout his rule.
Behave very well like a person, and also you are not too drunk. You are the one who should advise the public. You should advise General Amin not to drink. This is very important, because also to drink and overdrunk, it is not very good. You will not even enjoy more, because you will not even have sense. But if you drink very little, you feel very happy, very proud, and you talk to your people. That will be, I'm just advising you. Boss, politics and sports. even tactics are used in sport. By knocking out people are used in politics also.
Amin faced widespread condemnation from the international community for his human rights abuses and disregard for democratic principles. Amin's erratic and unpredictable behavior added to the atmosphere of fear and uncertainty in Uganda. He would often make impulsive decisions, including arbitrarily appointing and dismissing government officials, further destabilizing the country. General Idi Amin of Uganda visited the castles and palaces of Edinburgh, Scotland, on July 1972. The history, sights and impressions during his United Kingdom visits left him influenced to an extent of later declaring himself as King of Scotland.
Actually, I took this decision for the economy of Uganda, and I must make sure that every Ugandans get a fruit of independence. Since independent, actually Uganda is not yet independent, I will say that. Even when the British handed over on the 9th of October 1962, the Uganda still not yet independent.
General Idi Amin, the former ruler of Uganda, had a fascination with Scotland and declared himself the uncrowned King of Scotland. He adopted this unusual title in 1976 and used it to add to his eccentric persona. General Amin played Scottish music for visiting dignitaries, offered to liberate Scotland from British rule, and even wore a kilt to a Saudi royal funeral. However, his claim as the uncrowned King of Scotland was not officially recognized, and he remained an uncrowned king.
But I must make it absolutely truth. The reason why I chased them from Uganda was because of the economy of Uganda. Uganda was going to be bankrupt. That is the reason why I chased away the Israelis.
General Idi Amin was known for his lavish lifestyle, owning multiple palaces and luxury cars, and indulging in extravagant expenses, while the majority of Ugandans struggled to make ends meet. His extravagant lifestyle stood in stark contrast to the economic struggles faced by the people of Uganda during his rule.
The most important of the Afro-Arab cooperation, it is very important because Arabs are not well known in Africa. They are investing more of their money in billion in Europe, which make the industry in Europe to be very progressive. And also we are buying all the raw the material which we sell to them from here. They are to sell again to us. But I'm sure when the Arab invest in Uganda, we shall be in position not only to sell to the people in the world only agricultural production alone, but including industrial material, because we have got the raw material in Africa. I think this we can even have more industry in Africa, so that you will find that within a few years to come, we will be stronger economically in Africa, even to help the other people in the world.
General Idi Amin often boasted about his prowess as a professional boxer, claiming to have been a heavyweight champion and even participating in Olympic boxing. However, there is little evidence to support these claims, and they are widely regarded as exaggerated or fabricated. Throughout his rule, General Idi Amin faced widespread condemnation from the international community for his human rights abuses and disregard for democratic principles. He was responsible for the murder of many Ugandans and was known for his brutal and unpredictable behavior.
A minister is a person who must make a decision himself, not to wait for General Amin. You can only inform me what you are doing, what has happened. I feel very happy. Because if I am to make a decision all the time, I will be very annoyed. If you are not well briefed, come back to me. Telephone me at 5 o'clock or midnight, you telephone me. Some ministers have been telephoning me. I've been answering them. My telephone is simple. If you telephone me at 2241, whether at 3 o'clock in the morning, I get your telephone. I speak to you. And if you want a briefing, I can brief you completely until you understand. And when you go there, any reporters wants to ask you about Uganda, I think you are well equipped with all informations. You can brief them. You should not fear. You should not say, no, it is not my duty. If you are that, you are not Ugandans. And if I am to get this, you are not a minister at all.
General Amin's erratic and impulsive decisions, such as arbitrarily appointing and dismissing government officials, further destabilized the country. General Idi Amin Dada faced widespread condemnation for his human rights abuses and disregard for democratic principles, further contributing to the atmosphere of fear and uncertainty in Uganda.
We have seen and heard stories, many of them which are all validated, of thousands and tens of thousands of Asians being evicted from your country. You took their property, you didn't pay them. Is that your wave of the future? Is that all the love you're mentioning all this time?
I think you believe in rumors, and some of this picture, it is not might be from Uganda. I think the people whom I sent away of the British citizens, they were controlling 99% economy of Uganda, all business, industries and everything. And on top of that, I requested them when I took over in 1971. The power was handed over to me by the members of the armed forces. I asked them to apply for Uganda citizenship. They refused. And they control 99% of the economy. And the whole money they are getting, they don't bank this money in Uganda. They bank this money outside Uganda. And I am sure if they were still up to now, Uganda could have been bankrupt completely. And therefore there is no other opportunity. The only opportunity was to take that decision for the interest of the people of Uganda. And then I took that decision, but I said that I will pay the compensation, and which I have written to the all government concerned, I'm sure,
the United States, I have already paid them cash, and I have written to government of the United Kingdom, and the discussion is going on. And I have also written to India, which they have got a few Indians. I'm sure the delegation will be coming from India to discuss with the government of Uganda, and we shall pay. We don't say that we cannot pay, but some of the other point which you are saying, it is not true at all. You will find that Uganda is one of the best country in the world, I will say, as a president of that country.
Amin's legacy remains that of a capricious and violent ruler whose unpredictable policies and oppressive regime left a lasting scar on Uganda. In August 1972, the President of Uganda, Idi Amin, ordered the expulsion of his country's Indian minority, giving them 90 days to leave the country. He indicated that it was the responsibility of the British who brought them to Uganda. General Idi Amin adopted a special title for himself. He was addressed as His Excellency, President for Life. Field Marshal Alhaji Dr. Idi Amin Dada, VC, DSO, MC, CBE, Lord of all the beasts of the earth and fishes of the seas, and conqueror of the British Empire in Africa in general and Uganda in particular. Gen Idi Amin was the dictator who ruled the people of Uganda from 1971 to 1979. He is considered one of the most brutal despots in modern world history and was nicknamed the Butcher of Uganda. He once said, "You have freedom of speech, but freedom after speech, that I cannot guarantee." General Amin was so brutal that people believed that he ate his enemies. Idi Amin's fascination with Scotland is believed to extend from his exposure to Scottish soldiers during his military training. While training as a soldier, Amin developed a fondness for Scotland and its people. He admired the Scots and their struggle for independence from England, seeing parallels between their fight and his own desire to liberate Uganda and Africa as a whole. This fascination with Scotland led Amin to declare himself the uncrowned King of Scotland and adopt various Scottish symbols and traditions, such as playing Scottish music for visiting dignitaries and wearing a kilt to a Saudi royal funeral. It is worth noting that Amin's claims and actions related to Scotland were often seen as eccentric and exaggerated. His adoption of the title uncrowned King of Scotland was not officially recognised, and his love for Scotland was sometimes viewed as fetishistic and conflicted. Amin's fascination with Scotland can only be attributed to his exposure to Scottish soldiers during his military training and his admiration for the Scots struggle for independence. Uganda's former president, Idi Amin, was widely known to be obsessed with doing business with Arab countries, instead of forging an economic alliance with African nations at home. General Amin was mostly excited about Arab investors coming to invest in Africa, hence making Africa, and specifically Uganda, a key recipient of oil boom investments, even though the more significant East African community was already operational. General Amin focused his efforts on building strong alliances in faraway places. He argued that Arab investment into his country was critical, transforming it from an agricultural to an industrial exporter. His reign in Uganda lasted from 1971, when he seized power, from President Milton Obote, to 1979, when Tanzanian troops and Ugandan rebels stormed Kampala and ousted him from power. After he attempted to invade his neighboring African country Tanzania, Amin fled first to Libya and then to Saudi Arabia, where he spent the rest of his life in exile. General Idi Amin Dada was the President of Uganda between 1971 and 1979. Since then, he has become a man of mystery and of myth. More than 40 years after his overthrow and his subsequent death, he remains a key point of reference in Ugandan culture and politics. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, bye bye.